Good afternoon, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes out in wild and weird radio land. It's Iron. That is not Joe. That is Doomsday Dave. Doomsday Dave is here appropriately following the great snow apocalypse that we just got through. And we are going to go and read the list of how many people are here. Boy, you guys are coming in so I can see you. And man, I already see some stuff. So let me just start at the top and go down here. All right. Wolves Den, I see you out there. Just to know hippies here. Gary Foot's here. Looks like, what is it? 9 lives? Yeah, 9 lives. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We've got Brenda over here. Hello, Brenda. Coming down. Stone Maven has joined us once again. Hi, y'all. Hi, right back to you. Jordan Booker. Hello, wild and weird family. That's right. Hello. It is that time again, isn't it? It's one of the times I always look forward to. Happy Thursday, everyone, from LR Miller. Yes, absolutely. We have Central Kentucky Bigfoot out there here for a tidbit. Hey, a tidbit's better than none. You're all right. Anita, hello, weirdos. I made it back finally. Yes, you did. Welcome back home. LW, every school district in West Virginia out the last 5 days, according to Facebook. Yes, it has been nuts from what I am understanding. And man, we're going to get into the weather. You guys send in some weather pics, and I'm going to show a little bit of that, but it's pretty crazy, honestly.
It was aliens.
It probably was, Dave. After this week, I'm officially ready for spring. Anyone got a good groundhog recipe if he calls for more winter? Yes, absolutely. Let's see. LW Marshall. There's multiple blessings in your future, my friend. Thank you so much. Yep. It's one, what are you, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, something like 10 hours away, something like that. So yeah. I try not to dwell on it too much, but thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Who else do we have, Dave? I'm trying. Uvaru's here. Uvaru's over here. Do I have them all? Nope. Seth is here. Greetings, Seth. Greetings. Oz hiding over here in the corner. Mark Eddy, welcome, my friend. Welcome back. And I think I have everybody. Nope, there's Enzo. Hello, Enzo. And look at this. It was all those spores from 3i Atlas. That's what he says about the weather, Dave. And you know what's cute? We're actually going to do a 3i Atlas update because, it's still out there, guys.
There's actually some interesting news on 3i Atlas, too.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure with you, it's going to be very interesting. Folks, we are going to kick off the show. And before we do that, I do want to address the fact that we just had a pretty big weather event, right, Dave? It was pretty substantial. No, we didn't get here, at least. We did not get, what these models were predicting. And I think we learned a valuable lesson there and we've talked about this before behind the scenes, Dave. You just can't trust those models, can you? I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. And you got to be careful because a lot of people are just taking pictures of the worst case scenario on the model and screen sharing it and, making up whatever they want to get you all riled up. We do have a new blessing screen for you guys to unlock tonight, just to let you know. It's going to be pretty cool. It's a fun one. I did it, I think, last night for you guys. But I do have those photos. I'm gonna send some over. There's Just an Old Hippie. Thank you, Just an Old Hippie. Well, I fetched some photos. Dave,
Yeah.
What happened down your road there? I know it gets pretty crazy where you live too.
Well, that's the thing. All of us, we didn't get the snow, but the ice was bad. I had 4 trees fall in my backyard. Two
Ugh.
of them not in the way, but one of them missed my house by about 5 feet. And
Oh,
we had a tree hit land on our house. We bought our house in
several years ago. Yeah,
yeah, well, 5 years ago for this house,
yeah.
and it fell in our house 3 months after we moved in. After we had already remodeled the house, it
Yeah.
fell in the house, and now that's one that's kind of leaning towards the house. We're kind of a little panicky right now, so
Well, I don't blame you. Yeah,
we're gonna have it cut down very soon, probably.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I would probably go for that. We got pretty lucky. We had a lot of ice. We did have ice, and I thought we were getting through the storm without losing power. It didn't happen. We were thankfully we were nothing like last year, and they got it back going really fast. They really were right on top of it, and I mean it was literally within maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, something. So what we did is when you're a Lego collector, you always got something to do. You always got something to do. So what we did is we grabbed one of the boxes and popped it open, and we built one of the sets, and it was the mineral and gem set. It was the one that was released earlier this year. Let me see. Here's some pics of the snow. Here's some ice for you guys who didn't get to see it, who don't want to see it. There's things that look like coral. Those are little branches that off of one of the bushes I have out front, and you can see how thick that ice was. That's what they call that radical ice. That's the ice that goes around stuff, and those are rocks on the foreground that look like they're painted with. I mean, it's just amazing to see it. It was really, really crazy.
I will say though, when we had a little bit of sun the other day, the sunset when it was shining up on my hill, it was beautiful because it was shining through all the ice and it just reflected everywhere. It was really pretty.
It's amazing. Did you get any photos, by the way? I was just wondering.
I did in my backyard of this beautiful tree that's leaning towards my house.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah.
So my insurance will love that.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's art and it's documentation all in one, Dave.
Yeah.
There's some look of the snow. These are just random from around the area that folks posted over on our on the group, just sharing those images out.
It looks like Fayetteville or somewhere.
Not sure, Dave. I'm not sure, but you can see a lot of people. They got more snow. We got more ice, and
lots of ice.
Yes, just crazy. And I'll say this much as well. We had I had never noticed this, Dave. In all the years that that we've been getting these storms, right? I had never seen so many people. There's Ada. Thank you, Ada. There we go. Got you now. I'm trying to put these up on the screen so I can see them. All right. Never seen so many people they don't clean their cars off, Dave.
Oh yeah, it just flies off and cracked windshields and everything.
They're ice missiles, man. Yeah. I've seen at least 4 of them this week. It was absolutely ludicrous what I saw. Today I saw one fly off and a car literally drive through it like it was a plate of glass. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
There was a woman that almost got beheaded.
No, it doesn't. It was yesterday. Doesn't surprise me. The first one I saw was the day after when we get out. It was right there coming across the bridge, right before the bridge. And it looked like someone's hood flew up in the air 20 feet. It wasn't their hood. It was a perfect ice cast of the hood. Man, that stuff weighs a lot. I mean, I know it stinks. You got to get out there. You got to get that stuff off. If you don't, you're in for it. I mean, if it hits, that's not good. That's you're liable for it.
So, I didn't see anything happen, but I saw one semi that had a whole layer of ice from the back of the truck all the way across the top. And
oh yeah,
if I would have slid off, it would have.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Bad.
What's this? We got 6 inches of sleet in North Texas. 6 inches of sleet. Now
that's crazy for Texas.
Here's something for you. Did you see it was up in the mountains? They had the the first time I'd ever seen it, the sleet avalanches, where the sleet was literally rolling off the hills. I mean, absolutely insane. It was
North
amazing.
Carolina had quite a few of those little avalanches.
Yeah.
I think Ohio had one. Kentucky, I know Kentucky did.
Our ice, it hit 4-inch layer of hard pack and 4-inch of the styrofoam BBs. See, we didn't get so much right here as you saw, Dave, as far as it goes with the sleet, because it pretty much, it just changed right from snow, a little bit of sleet, and straight into that ice, that freezing rain. It was crazy.
See, it's so funny when I think of Texas. Now I know North Texas gets cold. I know it's not like a lot of people think it doesn't get. Everyone thinks it's hot there year round. But I tell you what, I do normally think of Texas being pretty hot. So when I hear that much sleet, for Texas and that ice, it's like, man.
Yeah, it was a massive storm. Power band is up. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, sub and hit the thumbs up, guys. I always forget that we're on a social media platform. I don't know why. I always just think you're all out there, and this is a presentation. That's how I treat it. It's very strange. When we got central, we got a little snow, and it was quickly covered by ice. See, that's the same thing. Yeah, exactly. Eyes, we see you. Thank you. Multiple blessings out the door to you guys. We got here. All of my ice came off of my tonneau cover yesterday in about 4 pieces. Oh man. Yeah. I got up on top of the Bronco and was literally taking big chunks off as it was heating up and coming off. It was work. It was really work. It felt like I was on a crab boat for a second there, just knocking the ice off. It was crazy.
A friend of mine, he does some of the car shine for people as a business. You probably know what I'm talking about. He made a comment recently too, because a lot of people don't think about it, but when they're cleaning their cars off, they take those brushes and clean them, and he gets cars in all the time. They don't realize it. It'll just scratch the cars, like the paint jobs, just destroys them. And they don't realize it. It's too late.
So a guy today have a roof cap of ice slide over his windshield while driving. Yep. And that can destroy your wipers, just to let you know. That hits your wipers, that's going to cost you some money. Let's see. I saw pics like that. Oh my God. What? Eyes? 20 inches of snow in Vermont with sneaky feather light snow. It's blowing everywhere. Wow. That is crazy. Let's see. Man, you guys are right on it here. Okay, that's for you.
I'd be building snow tunnels in Vermont.
Right. Got 9 inches on top out here in northern West Virginia. Wow. See, I mean, that's the whole point, man. It's like, and what's funny is we've got these people out here right now who are like, they're amazed that it's winter, Dave. I've seen posts from people who are just like, oh, this is some kind of a giant weather manipulation. This is weather modification. No, this is winter. This happens.
Yeah.
This is the winter that we actually kind of grew up with. This is how it was. And we just got lucky in the past few years,
Yeah, I don't miss it a bit.
I do not either. I do not. No, I do not.
I should, but I don't. So hey,
I don't.
We should, but
So let's I guess let's get into this. Let me find our thing here. It's somewhere around news. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Yeah. So let's get into this.
Wow, you're getting fancy there.
All right. So, where to start? Let's start with the let's start with you. Because this is right in your neck of the woods. So let me take us. See, Joe's not here. I can't say take us to presentation mode. I got to do it myself. All right.
Yes.
I took us to presentation mode. And don't worry, folks. Joe will be back next week. Nope, not that one. Hang on. It's the asteroid story, right? That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. The 2024 Wire 4.
Yeah, that's it. So it's back in the news again. And you guys remember this one. This is the one that they originally thought was going to smack into us. And we saw it go up and we saw the odds go down and we saw it go back up again. And then all of a sudden, it's not going to hit us. It's going to hit the moon. So now there's a 4% chance, right? So this is back in the news again. You've got
4.3 now.
Is it 4.3?
Yeah.
It's 4.3.
Yeah, it went up from 3.
I think you froze, David.
I think 0.8. So it's going up.
There you are. Well,
it's a little scary that it's going up some.
I mean, but if it hits,
I know you. Oh, there goes Ron. There he is. I know Ron wants me to present this because I have to maintain a reputation of being a little doomy. But so this thing is 60 meters wide, and of course, obviously, it was discovered in 2024. So they're saying 2032. The chance of this thing hitting the moon is, I think, 4.
I think you're chopping up, Dave. I don't know if the aliens are getting you or what. I'm not sure what's happening out there. But you're definitely freezing on this. It's almost like the Virginia press conference at the beginning of it. If you guys watch that, kind of how everything froze and would come back. I'm not really sure what's happening.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening out there. But either way,
it's aliens.
It probably is, because it's like you're in suspended animation to us. We're just watching you, and it's just like, this is missing time. Dave's having missing time. We're all witnessing it right there.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Good question, Central. Is there a black sedan outside your house, Dave?
Hopefully not. I have to ask my wife. She's up there playing video games. So
there could be. There could be
a possibility.
Yeah, they're probably jamming the signal. So, so if this thing does hit, Dave, I mean, it's a 6.5 megaton explosion, right? And it's on the moon. Yeah. So that doesn't seem like it's, that big of a deal. But what do you make of this? Because, I'm seeing things like what they're saying here.
It'll be the first time that human beings, at least with our current technology, have witnessed something like this. At least everyone that's living now.
Yeah.
But the fact that it could create a 1 kilometer crater on the moon, and when it hits, it'll basically it'll be loud. I mean, of course we won't hear it, obviously. But one of the fears, though, is some of this could actually come back on the Earth. Some of the debris,
right,
could hit our atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's actually a simulation of that. I've got that, so we can actually look at that, and you can explain what's happening here.
I've not seen the simulations. That'll be good.
These are possible scenarios for where it may hit. So this is the impact date. You see it up there.
Yeah.
December 2032. And you're going to watch this ring propagate outwards as the Earth moves into position.
I think it'd be kind of like if you remove the gravity, and you had a small pile of pebbles, and you dropped a bowling ball with gravity into this pile of pebbles that have no gravity. Like as they come up and start floating, that's you could kind of picture that the way it would look coming up.
Yeah, like literally what they're showing here is it's kind of going to be orbiting the Earth for a bit. That's kind of what we're seeing, and this is over a period of days from the actual impact. And some of those things are going to hit the Earth. That's pretty much what we're saying, right? Like that's going to be a massive, not a meteor shower, but a meteor storm, right? Is that?
Yeah. Of course, most of all that, all of it will, and it'll burn up in the atmosphere.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah. Now that's providing a large chunk, depending on where it hits, a large chunk of rock doesn't get hurled out of the moon and come towards us. Even if it's a large chunk, it'd be like something maybe the worst case scenario could be like what happened in Russia there. I think 2 years ago.
Chelyabinsk.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
That's always a possibility. I don't think it would be much more than that. I think it's basically they're saying they believe around 108 kilograms of debris that would escape the lunar gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So a small fraction of that reaching the Earth, and basically so lunar meteor outburst.
Yeah,
and stuff.
So we'd have a really big meteor shower basically a few days after is what I'm kind of hearing. Yeah. All right, let's look at some of these comments over here. And folks, just get your comments and questions in. I'm going to be starring them as we go through this, and ask whatever you want to ask, and we'll get to it as soon as I can get over here and get a break and read them. We'll get right to them. And if you have any accounts or any sightings you want to share, just put them down there, share them away. You're not going to get made fun of over here. That's not what we do here. All right.
One thing to note too on that, Ron. So the ESA, they won't really be able to study that asteroid much more until around 2028. But they, as he said, we have the 4.3, but there's also around 96% chance it won't hit the moon.
There's your new shirt idea right there with the Doomsday Dave telling us it's a bit doomy today. Gloomy, get it? Haha. That's funny. You're funny, Uvaru. Funny.
I like it. Doomy, gloomy.
Yep.
Something
right.
Like that.
Right. I am okay. I think I'm caught up now. Everybody's all right. Yep. Good. All right. So, speaking of those doomsday rocks, David, what got you your name? Your initial thing was, you came on here and told us all the good news about, these asteroids that we thought were harmless, that were probably going to, smash into the Earth one day and, do us a good dinosaur impersonation. But there was also something else that was discovered around that time. And as you recall, that got a bump up in name, and it became 3i Atlas. Remember that? It was wow, the giant mothership, right? A strange thing indeed. But you're telling me that there's still more news on this thing today.
Yeah.
So what have you got on our interstellar visitor that's floating around out there, bud?
Well, I think to backtrack a little bit, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, there was around, I guess, Abbey Loeb looking at it. There's 16 anomalies now.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've seen 17 yet. It's sticking around 16.
How many do we need before we say, this is something different?
I mean, they've already said that.
NASA hasn't.
Yeah, NASA hasn't.
No, they said this is perfectly normal. It's a perfectly normal comment, Dave.
Yeah, NASA. Yeah. I like NASA, but also don't trust some of the things they tell us. But
can't imagine why.
The more interesting things that's happening recently, though, is and I'm going to actually read off of an article. So
please do. And if you have the link, put it up there for our folks so they can go check it out as well.
This is quite an interesting article. I saw this today. Let me rejoin the chat here. Don't know why it's not wanting me to connect, but here we go. All right. Hopefully that ain't going to screw me up. There we go.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll let me. It's not going to let me post a link. All right.
All right.
I'm going to
put it over in the private. Yep. And I'll grab it, and I'll see if I can get it over there. It's one of those security measures around here. We can't let guests come on here and take over the show.
It's only me.
Yeah, it doesn't know that.
True. All right, so it's not even let me do that.
It's not.
Interesting.
Well, just message it, and I'll grab it from there. Yeah, we know that messenger works.
Oh yeah.
Everything's been infiltrated tonight, folks. No one wants you to know the truth. It's just like any other night.
The Men in Black are out to get us.
They are.
So this is pretty interesting. So let's say they have found some building blocks of life in 3i Atlas. Yes, this is very recent discovery. And it's actually got out. So this is actually NASA that released this, believe it or not.
Oh.
So basically, I'm going to read verbatim here, but methanol has long been considered a basic building block of life as we know it. The molecule plays a crucial role in producing the proteins and amino acids that make up DNA and RNA, which is all known life is based. So now another intriguing location scientists have detected the molecule is in recent readings of 3I Atlas. As detailed in a yet-to-be peer-reviewed paper, NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center astrochemist Martin Cordier and his colleagues used the Atacama Large Submillimeter Array in Chile to scan the object.
This is
and they found significant amounts of gaseous methanol and hydrogen cyanide, which basically is considered an important precursor for the formation of life.
Okay.
So
Dave, this is not allowing me to do it. So what I'm going to do, guys, everybody, you stay where you're at, Dave. I'm going to put this in the description link underneath this video as soon as we're off, as soon as it goes back into replay. So you can come back tomorrow and catch that if you're interested in reading the actual article. And it is a good article. We'll also get you to share it over on the group, Dave, because this is good.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is crazy. Yeah. I mean, to see this, the fucking NASA's putting this out. But
go ahead.
So the sheer concentration of the gases caught them off guard on the interstellar visitor, which is widely believed to be a type of comet. So now they're saying, I quote, molecules like hydrogen cyanide and methanol are at trace abundance and not dominant constituents of our own comets. So here we see that actually in this alien comet, they're very abundant. This is from a NASA scientist in our alien comet.
I caught that little play on words there. Alien comet. Did you guys catch that? I caught that.
I thought that was interesting.
That's interesting.
So let's see here. Let me get a little. I want to read everything. So they say it seems really chemically implausible that you could go on a path to very high chemical complexity without producing methanol.
Okay.
By examining the ALMA data, I can't talk. The scientists concluded that both methanol hydrogen cyanide gas came from 3I Atlas's rocky core. However, the methanol also appeared in significant concentrations in the visitor's coma, the fuzzy blanket of gas and dust around the comet's nucleus. They found that around 8% of the total vapor emanating from 3I Atlas was made up of methanol, roughly 4 times as much as in more familiar solar system comets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically that stuff that we saw, the jets that were coming, like we said before, there was something inside that was heating up and coming out, and apparently that something was this methanol derivative, right?
And this gets even better.
Okay.
I was kind of really surprised to see NASA even say this.
Hey, Teresa.
So they say here the findings could support the theory that objects like 3 Atlas may have once brought life to Earth billions of years ago. And that's one thing they have said.
So they're actually theorizing that this is some kind of model for panspermia. That's what you're basically telling me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was once championed as as a far-fetched theory.
Yeah.
And here you go.
Okay. So 3I Atlas continues to make history in a way, right? I mean,
yeah,
because we literally now have NASA scientists who are, I guess, going on record saying this could be a thing, right? That this
Loba said it.
Obviously,
and now some of the NASA scientists are saying it too.
So
there you go.
That's amazing, honestly. And again, I think it's just going to go over people's heads, the significance of what you just said, because we've theorized it for years. Panspermia has been a thing that's been theorized for years, that something from a comet, from an asteroid, whatever, slams into a planet and boom, presto, automatically there's life. And now you have proof, possibly, that the building blocks of that life are on an alien comet. Their words, not mine. An alien comet that just happens to come past us. How about that, Dave? Well, now, what are some of the other possibilities that could explain that? That signature. Is there any other possible scenario?
Yeah, I'm no astrophysicist. I don't claim to be one.
But you play one.
But,
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I played one on TV. Yeah, we're on podcasts.
Yeah.
But the other thought I have too, if that Three Atlas was part of which obviously at some point it was part of a solar system at some point.
Wasn't that one of Sagan's theories? For some reason, it makes me think of his old PBS show. Yeah, I think Sagan did throw forward the panspermia idea, right?
Yeah, I mean that could have been part of that. Three Atlas could have been part of a planet. It could have been in a system where either maybe the star went supernova and everything around it just exploded, or it could be the impact of two planets caused by gravity. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Or that.
And Anita took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Let's say this is a chunk of a living planet that got blown up.
Yeah.
And you and me have talked about this before. We've had these little conversations where it's like, it seems like a joke, but when you go out and you're watching these meteor showers, right? It's like, oh, that's beautiful. For all you know, that was someone. that was something, some piece of a world that just isn't there anymore. I mean, that's a possibility, right? And it sounds like science fiction, but no, it's not. It's actual plausibility right there. I think that's absolutely something you look into.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how far away Three Atlas came from. No. I mean, it could have came from the other side of our galaxy for all we know, and been jettisoned via our central black hole or another black hole. That it's actually right now there's a black hole traveling through our galaxy right now.
You always bring the good news, Dave. You always bring the good news, right, folks? He always brings the good news.
And it's not far from us, actually.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah,
thanks.
I have to bring it. Bring
it. Question, Tony. If life was seeded by panspermia, big if there.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be concerned about a second seeding?
There's theories on that, even in our local solar system. I mean, Venus, Mars. I mean, scientists do think Venus at one time could have had life on it. And Mars is, well, that's obvious.
Yeah, we could do shows on the possibilities of life on Mars, and I'm still, man, I'm telling you, there's a lot there, isn't there? There's a lot to really digest outside of just the crazy theory kind of stuff. But when you get down into the actual looking at the data, it's not crazy theory anymore. There's really something that happened on Mars that was very significant.
Well, they have found signs of potential signatures of life in Venus's atmosphere.
That's right. I remember that a few years ago. Yeah.
If that whatever object is, it hit the Earth, because at one point, which something did hit the Earth, and if it ejected more pieces out and hit Venus, and that could have done some seeding there as well, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never know unless science has developed some kind of technology that we just can't even imagine. But
right. Yeah. Tony said, Sagan was critical of undirected random panspermia, but supported the idea of direct panspermia, the idea we were intentionally seeded by alien life. And anyone who watched back in that same day, anyone who watched, what was it? The Search for Spock, right? Star Trek grabbed that, the Genesis Project. That's what it was about. That was, because it was a popular term that was getting thrown around. Let's use this, and that's how it came about. So that's how a lot of folks learned about it. Let's see. Looking for any more questions. We're going to move on. Let's see. We got, there have been theories of gas bag type creatures living in Venus atmosphere from back in the 70s. That's right. Yes, there have been.
That even NASA has talked about. I just don't think it's a possibility. Maybe, 200-300 years from now, but they talked about trying to develop if we could have balloons and maybe some type of I don't know if ships is the right word, but we could potentially colonize Venus's atmosphere, because that we could technically would be within the range we could actually have a ship there and be okay. It wouldn't melt the ship.
Right.
But that seems pretty far fetched, at least for the very foreseeable future.
Well, we got to get our crap together before we could do anything like that. That's a planetary endeavor. You got to all be thinking. You got to be on the same track. You got to be doing the same things. You got to have an actual mission and a goal. Stone Maven asked, did y'all catch the news blurb about the fourth type of organism in our fossil record, made tall pillars and resembled fungi, but lacked some of the markers for fungus? Too bad it went extinct. Gigantic, pods, right? That's what they look like, kind of. Tubular pods. Let's see.
I think there was something about that creating tunnels as well, if I remember correctly, or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to go back and reread it again. But I saw that too.
So you're telling us basically that 3i was still acting weird.
Mm-hmm.
Still acting weird. So we're still watching it. It hasn't done the Jupiter thing yet, right? Because there's some theory about if it goes out there, it's going to do something too. What was that all about? Do you know?
There's been a couple folks. Now this is like very much hearsay, but there's been a couple folks. Actually, the Angry Astronaut. I do enjoy watching him. He comes up with some of his own theories.
Mm-hmm.
But he himself, he's like us. He's not an astrophysicist. He just puts theories out there, but talks about if 3i Atlas would have sent probes, if it's an actual alien ship of sorts, that it could have sent probes off into Jupiter's atmosphere, and for whatever reason we wouldn't know, but to study Jupiter for some reason, that we may see that once it goes by, and then some of our devices are studying it, which is going to be coming up soon.
So we're going to be looking at it again, is what you're telling me.
I believe it's, I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. It's in February, but I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head.
Okay.
I think it was mid-February.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching for that, I guess. That'll be the next big thing. Let's see what else is in the news. There's quite a bit, actually. Oh yeah. We had, speaking of you, we had the doomsday clock make the run. Right.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is.
It's much closer to midnight now than it's obviously ever been.
Here's the thing. Ever since was it 2019 or 2020, they've inched it closer and closer. But there's also a thing you have to remember. They've kind of destroyed the doomsday clock and what it originally was, right? So before you guys start running to Vault Tech, I'm just gonna say, that's you might want to kind of chill out there a little bit, because it might be its closest, but there might be a reason for that too. And let's look at the history of it. I think that's cool. Here we go. Let's do that. Let's just
think the whole nuclear.
Yes, that's what it was from, and that's what it was for. That's what it was always meant for, and then it got changed. So it was created in 1947, though, and it was by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. They were funded by the scientists who worked on the Manhattan Project. They were kind of alarmed by the power that they had just created, with nuclear weapons, and it first appeared on the cover of the magazines as a symbol. It wasn't a prediction. It was meant to show how close humanity was to self-destruction. Midnight representing global catastrophe. The clock, though, was designed by Marty Langford. The original set of the 7 minutes, it was originally set to 7 minutes and reflected the early Cold War tensions. 1949, after the Soviet Union tested the first atomic bomb, the clock moved closer to midnight for the first time, establishing the idea that the hand would shift as global risks increased or decreased. For decades, the clock focused on nuclear war, but in recent years, it had been expanded to include threats like climate change, biological risks, and artificial intelligence. Today, it's set annually by the Bulletin's Science and Security Board as a warning tool meant to provoke public awareness and political actions in the future. So really, it's not even used for what it was used for originally. It doesn't mean anything. And you know what I find really crazy about it, Dave? It was covered on nearly every media outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Every media outlet grabbed the story. Clock moves closer than it has ever to doomsday. But you know what they didn't do? Not one single media reporter, other than I think it was News Nation and maybe one other one, no mainstreams. We're at a press conference last week where there were actual witnesses to what could have been an alien being on this planet. That blows my mind. And it should blow everyone's mind, because it shows a clear intent of media, doesn't it?
Of course, media likes to steer things, you know.
What you said.
You know, whether it's legit or not sometimes.
Exactly. And that's
all media.
That's all media. All media does this. But the fact that we would focus more on, you know, a fake clock in fear, instead of something that was possibly world changing, something that could actually bring the world together in one way or the other. This blows my mind, dude. Absolutely blows my mind.
And the world's in a state now of rearming.
Right.
Building even more powerful nukes. And then we still have Russia that has that SAR bomb, which, I mean, it's huge.
Oh yeah. That was a big one.
And like the weapons we talked about that were used in that big secret weapon that was used in Venezuela.
Oh, there was no secret to that. That's the crazy part. Everyone wants to act like that was a secret weapon. There was nothing secret about that. You and me both know this. We've talked about this for years.
Yeah.
Years. I mean, years. I was telling a friend of mine recently about, they were talking about, you know, how some of this stuff works, you know. I was like, well, there's sonics, and of course there's microwave, right? And you know, microwave's pretty powerful, and you can really mess yourself up with one, especially an old model, but because they weren't shielded. I don't know if people know this or not, but you have those microwave detectors now. They're basically EMF detectors. Back in the day, everyone thought they were radiation detectors. They are, I guess. They're non-ionized radiation detectors, but they're just weak EMF detectors. If one of those things did go off on your microwave today, you run, because something catastrophic is wrong. But back in the day, those old microwaves gave off that much radiation, man. They were powerful. They can mess you up. But it's not the same kind of stuff. And you know, you can disable someone very easily. You don't have to have microwaves. You can do it sonically, you can do it visually. You know, I like to tell the story, like I said, I was telling my friend there at work about this, and my lab partner back in electronics class back in the day. We used to, I used to experiment with high voltage. I used to experiment with ultra acoustics. This is back during the Majestic X days, the MJX days. And you know, high frequency, the whole works, right? And I remember we had a frequency generator in the lab and had some speakers set up and some amplifiers, and I turned it on. And the crazy part is only a few people could hear it because I had it above 20,000 hertz. Well, I was just adjusting it till I could like kind of feel it, you know, or whatnot. But I had not considered the fact that my lab partner she was not very happy with me because she had reported to me. Someone had asked about, they had a headache or something, and I think my instructor was like, he could kind of hear it, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's the generator." He's like, "Turn it off." I went and turned it off. But she found out what I was doing, and when she found out what I was doing, she threatened me. She's like, "If you ever do that again, I will take you out. Do you understand?" I'm like, "Okay." I never did it again, but I got the data from her after she threatened me.
It worked.
It worked, but the data said basically, she got really bad headaches. She had headaches for like 3 days. Some of the other guys in the class actually had headaches. They reported a like a pressure in their head. I couldn't feel it, but
it's because you're alien.
I don't know. I just couldn't hear it. I couldn't feel it. But I was trying to get it into a different zone. I wasn't trying to create something to hurt anyone. I was trying to create something to kind of that's when I was experimenting with the lights and the sound and trying to do those early experiments. But those were unexpected results. And then later on I did learn, yes, that's what those are. Those are weapons, and you can make those. And yes, we've had those for a very long time, and they are very disabilitating.
It's like the like the little. I have one, like the little prank devices. It's like a little circuit board that has the chirp on it. It sounds like a cricket. It's pranky, and I have one of those. You can set it to. It has an extremely high frequency. Only certain people can hear it.
Yeah,
and you're playing that prank. I've used it at work before. And most people wouldn't hear it, but there'd be people who would hear it. They'd be like, "What is that noise? Where's that coming from?"
Yeah.
But it makes you think too of that. If I pronounce it correctly, that anechoic chamber, the one that's at the Orfeld Laboratories.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Actually, in Minneapolis, it's where it's at, and it's so quiet. That room's so quiet, you hear your own blood going.
Yeah.
And you think we're using that as the technology from those studies there as a weapon. It's interesting.
Hellbent Holler has joined us. Joe, is that you? Did Ron eat Joe during Snowstorm? No, it didn't get that bad. Joe will be back shortly. He had some things he had to take care of.
Yeah.
Teresa did not realize the doomsday clock dated back to 1940s. Yeah, 1947, coincidentally or not coincidentally. I'm not sure. 1947.
47 is always kind of a magic number too, because you got Roswell.
That's that magic date.
Always that date.
CIA. No, it was Air Force. Air Force was formed. Wait, was the CIA formed?
I can't remember what year that was.
Let's check that out.
I can do a quick look up.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I always have it right. Stuff handy right with me here. So, yeah, CIA was formed July 26, 1947.
July 26, 1947.
Yep.
Huh. How about
President Harry S. Truman?
And the Roswell incident took place on the what was that? The 8th, right? Is that when the first
July
announcement?
8th.
July 8th?
I believe so. Let's see. I'll verify that. I'd like to be right.
Yep.
Let's see here. Come on, Google. Yeah, 1947. Here's the newspaper right here in front of me. Yeah, July 8th. That's it. Yeah. Of course, I love it when you bring up the headline. It immediately says 1947 military balloon crash.
That's it. Yeah.
How convenient.
Wait, that was the original one was the 8th, and then 24 hours later, or less than 24 hours later, they redacted it, right? So that on the 9th.
Yeah,
is when the cover up started.
So right here's the newspaper, the original newspaper. Roswell Daily Record. On Tuesday, July 8th, 1947.
Yep, that's it.
And RAAF captures flying saucer on a ranch in Roswell region.
Flying disc, I believe, or something like that. And then the next day, General Ramey empties Roswell disc or whatever.
Has his nice little photo op with the.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Anyway. So yeah, I was trying to read everybody's comments. I don't know how Joe does this. He's magical. I can't do that.
He lets you do the talking so he can see it.
Enzo, let's see. Where are we at? You guys are talking about frequencies over there. You have a strangely evolved skull. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right. I think we're caught up now. Are we caught up now?
I think so. Let's see, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I believe.
Eyes? Anyone try the sonic projections like Skywatcher? I caught some odd things with certain frequencies. Sonic projections, not sonic. I was going to say, yeah, sonic we did. Sonic, no. No, not yet.
Now, one thing that's been used recently is they're using that, not to bring up anything that's going on, but it's something that's happening. But in Minneapolis, they were using that voice of God on the folks that are protesting.
And it's a fantastic thing. I don't know if people know what that is or not, but it literally reverberates your inner eardrum to the point, well, where I'm talking, right? So it vibrates it to the point to where you can actually hear without hearing. Pretty amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, ultrasonic devices are amazing. It's that, and optical devices have always been something I've been seriously interested in. And just because they can actually, if you do it right, if you use them right, they can lead to very enhanced states of consciousness, to the point to where you're almost having an out of body experience.
It can be very dangerous at the same time too.
Sure,
very dangerous.
Yeah,
they can use them on a much larger scale.
Don't go out and build one. That's what we're saying. Just don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. What else we got? Let me check my notes again. We moved. Oh yeah. So this is a good one. I got some clips here for this one.
Kind of our next topic here.
Yeah. The exotic vehicle thing, right? That's a good one. Yeah.
Multimedia reports.
So this started showing up just recently. Oh, well, I got to go to presentation mode. Okay, let's try it again.
You can do it, Ron. You can do it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Everyone believes Ron can do it.
Yay. All right. So from the Daily Mail there, mysterious vehicle of unknown origin hidden at U.S. Navy base raises questions about a secret UFO program. So this is coming back out in the news, and I honestly believe we're probably going to hear a lot more about this. I think that we're building up. This and the next story kind of go together, and I don't think it was a coincidence that they were released at the same time. So let me clear this so I can read this out here. Okay. Let's see. A mysterious UFO has been allegedly stored at a little known U.S. base on the East Coast for decades as military continue to reverse engineer its secrets. Now that's quite a claim, man. This is quite a claim, because it literally says that this thing's been at this naval air station in Maryland for near the Pax River for somewhere since the 1950s. So first of all, many questions come to mind. What kind of vehicle? Where'd it come from? Which one of these alleged crashes that didn't happen did it come from?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. But Navair, a major part of the U.S. Navy, which handles everything related to naval aircraft, weapons, and aviation systems. That's where this place is at. So it's a test facility, Dave. Think about that, okay? But speaking to Liberation Times, an unnamed source, they're always unnamed, claims that two types of aircraft have been trying to spy on what the U.S. has at Pax River. One is allegedly drones from China, and the other are non-human UFOs. Now, how they know one's from China and one's non-human UFOs, I don't know.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not always China. I'm just going to say that to you. Recently, the spying activity has allegedly increased and moved closer to land, including right around the Navy base of Chesapeake Bay. Although the claims could not be confirmed by the Daily Mail, UFO whistleblower Luis Elizondo, here we go, stated in written testimony to Congress that a special built hangar was constructed at Pax Rivers specifically for the transfer of extraterrestrial technology, which he can't talk about. I added that part because he can't talk about it, but he can talk about it in some states, I guess.
Mentions that one little bit and piece. Yeah.
Well, he knows what he can and can't say, and it gets kind of frustrating to people, but I know how he's doing this. But under oath, Elizondo described the plan where the hangar would help major defense contractor Lockheed Martin, remember that name, move non-human technology to another company called Bigelow Aerospace for further study and analysis. Yeah, the same Bigelow Aerospace that you're thinking about, the same one. And here's a picture of it. Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's Pax right there. See that? So you got a pretty good place to hide some secrets there. Is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, buddy.
But the facility includes locations. Here's the other location, of course. We knew about this one, the one in Las Vegas, and a newly built hangar at the Patuxent River Naval Air Station, PAX. So basically, when we learned about, the UAP whole thing, right? ALSAP, all that, BASS, NIDS, all that. When we learned about that, we heard about the hangar in Las Vegas. Apparently, it was in conjunction at the same time with this. So somehow these things are related, which is kind of interesting. And I think we're going to hear a little bit more about this soon. But I also saw a thing that said something about if people got too close to it, that they were prepared to move it. I mean, probably kind of like they did Area 51, it got too known and, things got moved from there, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything there.
I mean, moving it there would be pretty interesting too, because you have, like, at Wright Pat, they do have an underground, but when you're talking about an underground at that particular facility,
yeah,
with it being on the coast like that, it gets to the point of the sand, and then, so you really can't. I mean, I guess there might be a way, but I can't imagine you would actually have an underground facility where we could actually be housed.
Right. Well,
so
transferring it, they've got the river, they got the, that's the ability right there. They can do that. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised what they can do. Down here at the ordnance plant, when they were building, you know where I'm going with this. Down here where they're building the big Kroger, right beside where the ordnance plant was. Well, when they were in there leveling that land out, they found big tunnels. Those tunnels allegedly were there to where they could take stuff from inside that building through those tunnels and out to the river through a series of tunnels that were there. And apparently they were supposedly, I guess, the ordnance center. Who knows what they were making? I don't even know what they were making. I've heard stories. I'm not even going to repeat them because I don't think they're, I don't have any proof of it, but the tunnels were there because they found them. And they had to fill those in the land while they were working down there. But man, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, like, very well thought out where you can get it under the ground where the satellites can't see it. Of course, now we have that kind of technology. 50s, oh, maybe it belongs to the Flatwoods Monster. There you go, Teresa. That's probably it.
As we talked before, in Point Plaza at that facility, there is an underground facility that was intentionally flooded,
Grandpa was a naval researcher, Anita. There you go. I've also found out, Anita, that most people who are into this, most of the researchers, most of the experiencers, they're descended from, their parents were probably military of some sort, which is very interesting. and a lot of times it's Navy. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the rest of these. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. So, keeping in mind what we were just talking about, we get this, which breaks. Well, it's been breaking. This story's actually been breaking for a while. And I think it started right around the time Age of Disclosure came out. But another Liberation Times article. And this is a pretty good one. Let me remove that and go into presentation mode because it helps to do it right. Here, I didn't fail spectacularly that time, Joe. New allegations link former national intelligence leader Clapper and O'Sullivan to UFO shoot down and retrieval program. We went for years without having any kind of names, and now all of a sudden everybody's pointing fingers, and we're getting these lists of these names of these people who are involved in these programs. And it's painting a very interesting image. Whether it be true, I don't know yet. We're still trying to figure all that out. But multiple sources have told Liberation Times that during the Obama administration, senior intelligence figures, James Clapper and Stephanie O'Sullivan, oversaw a program relating to unidentified anomalous phenomena within the office of the Director of National Intelligence. The source alleged the effort involved the shoot down and recovery of exotic vehicles, though thought to be of non-human origin. Now, what's interesting about that is that we always said that if you look at the acronyms, for they used over this stuff, some were advanced weapons identification, blah, 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 programs. And then it went up into, threat and all these little words. Well, they were clearly interested in trying to obtain this material, and then they lied about that. Yeah. And then they lied about it for years saying, well, it never really happened. Well, now they're getting kind of caught with it. Yeah. Something happened. So three separate sources told Liberation Times that Clapper allegedly ran the program alongside O'Sullivan and dates back to its tenure under the Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence 2007 to 2010. So let's take a little bit of time to think about what we just said there. So 2004 was the Nimitz encounter in the time frame. So 3 years later, you've gone from observing these things or whatever they were doing to, well, we got to get one. We want one. We want to see how it works. We got to figure out how this thing does what it does. So during that period, O'Sullivan in the CIA Directorate of Science and Technology, before being promoted in 2009 to become the agency's third most senior officer, one source alleged that Clapper and O'Sullivan oversaw a program codenamed Golden Domes, which the source claimed was jointly run by the CIA and the United States Air Force, where Clapper previously served. Source further alleged that the program could detect and track UAP even when, quote, cloaked, unquote, and as they physically manifested. So there's a little bit to take away from that last little part right there. So the program could detect and track UAP even when they were cloaked and as they physically manifested. Right over top of their heads, right? As they physically manifested. This is what we have been talking about. This is literally what John Keel was talking about back in the day as well. That we've gone from something that could go from an energy state to a solid state and back to energy. This is the technology. And to us, it might as well be magic because we can't really grasp it.
We're kind of seeing this technology though. I mean, and to certain degrees.
Well, the same source claimed the program employed a mix of electronic and laser-based capabilities intended to bring down what the source described as, quote, exotic non-human vehicles. And this plays into what we've heard years ago about, these scalar or radar type weapons, microwave beam weapons, which are used to possibly take down some of these craft. So it's starting to paint an interesting picture. Whether it be true or not, I don't know, but we're going to definitely be hearing more about this year. I have a feeling.
Have we been taking them down the whole time, or I don't think they're just simply crashing. So
no, they're not just simply crashing. No, I've never believed they were just simply crashing. I know there's some who think that they're doing that, but knowing humans as well as I know humans, I do not think that they're just simply crashing. James Clapper served as the fourth director of national intelligence under President Obama. Of course, we knew this, but Clapper also previously served as the director of National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. In his book, Fact and Fears, he recounts how he was assigned the U.S. Air Force Senior Resident Officer at National Security Agency, NSA, to represent Air Force interests. In February 1980, then the NSA Director, Vice Admiral Bobby Inman, presided over Clapper's promotion to colonel as he assumed responsibility for all Air Force personnel stationed at the NSA. He basically got called out recently by Grush, who said, yeah, you were in age of disclosure, but you didn't say what you should have said. And now the fingers are getting pointed that way. We've heard Clapper now, we've heard O'Sullivan, we've got Dick Cheney, we've heard Bush's name mentioned. We're getting this massive list of these people. Dave, I know they say, MJ-12 is a hoax, right?
Yeah.
Like MJ-12 is a hoax, but maybe it wasn't MJ-12. Maybe MJ-12 was a smokescreen or a red herring for something that was real. And there are people that
you go back to President Reagan.
Yeah.
Talking about basically UFOs, and then Bush he ran the CIA and he was over a lot of the intelligence.
Yeah.
Pre VP.
Yeah.
So
well,
a lot of
Bush too also is the one who wanted to allegedly come forward and say, look, they're here. We want to disclose. And then they met and Hal Puthoff was there and they all decided, you know what? No, we looked at this data for 3 days or whatever, 2 or 3 days. And they decided, nah, it's a bad idea. It's going to wreck the economy. It's going to destroy, belief systems, blah, blah, blah. What it really came down to is it's going to wreck the economy. Let's be real. And, there are greater fears. I get it. I do get it, because you are talking about a technology. And we've talked about this before, a technology that is so advanced, it almost looks like magic. And, again, let's look back at the old legends, okay, for a second here. And if I have to, I'll have to channel Von Daniken if means be. But here's the thing. He's right about some of this stuff. The legends do talk about the abilities of some of these super weapons of the gods, these weapons that could just level cities. Nothing that we have today. It's not nuclear. It's way beyond that. There's also, like we said before in the Hopi, the book of the Hopi, the talk about the shields that could travel from from country to country, and they could make war with that country and then be back home before, literally anything happened. I mean, these are instantaneous delivery systems. That's what we're talking about. If that is a real thing, that is a world changer and a world ender based on where you are technologically, where you are socially. See, that's our problem. It's like the ants found the TNT and they learned how to use the TNT and the match, but they don't understand the rest of it. That's the problem. And that's where we are right now. Go ahead.
Well, you look at like World War II when there was mass sightings, and right now the world is at a state. There's so much chaos around the world. We have been seeing more sightings. over the past couple of years. I mean, they're always seeing sightings, but they've been very much more in the news. And then with everything that's going on in the world, I mean, you don't want to get into politics, but I mean, Dave, it is what it is.
Can we hear a little bit more about this cat? Make sure that everyone knows that is a real cat that you have.
Yes,
that's not an alien. That's a cat.
He is currently sound asleep right now in my arms. He just came over and crawled in my arms. I'll see if I can. He'll probably slap me in the face for waking him up. He does like being woke up, but he's kind of doing his thing right now. But I'm probably gonna get slapped. I'm probably gonna get slapped in the face because when he gets annoyed, he slaps me in the face.
Hang on, Dave. Let me see if I can get this to work. Here we go.
Oh yeah, got the zoom function, so he has some serious catitude. That's Skippy Joe John. That's kind of his Skippy Joe John Roberts. It's kind of his name and stuff. But yeah, he's a Siamese we got when he was a stray, actually, a rescue, 5 weeks old. Our neighbors found him in their engine compartment, and my wife and I saw the photo posted to our neighbors and talking about how cute he was. And my wife said, "We'll take him." And we swore we weren't getting any more cats because we already have enough. So this is our fourth, and been raising him since he was 5 weeks old. Hand fed him a little bit, like bottle fed him for a little bit when we first got him, and he's definitely my boy now.
He's a spoiled cat. That's what he is.
He's spoiled and he's kind of alien.
Yeah, I've got a few of them.
Definitely Siamese with a catitude.
Mm-hmm.
But I love him to pieces. My little buddy. he likes the show too.
He does? Okay.
Yeah. Of course he has to be in the show.
Of course.
He wants a spotlight.
All right. Let's see. I am going down through here, checking some more stuff out. Oh, that's funny. So they finally found a use for Tesla's Wardenclyffe tech. There you go. The death ray, right? That's what it was all about. Okay. Scrolling down, looking for questions. Most were about cats, so I'm moving down here. If I missed you guys, any of your questions, put it down again. I'll try to see it. All right. Good deal. Got it now.
Dude.
Let's see. Well, Joe makes a suggestion. Hands up if you think the cat should permanently replace Joe Perdue. Joe's not here to defend himself. I just want to let you all know that. But yeah, that seems like that seems like something.
He's a lot cuter. I will say that. I mean, the cat is much cuter.
Yeah. Well, look at that. There's some. There's people who are voting for that cat. Sorry, buddy.
Joe should feel. But now the catitude is showing up.
Oh my goodness!
Here it comes. He's like, okay, I went down now. Okay.
He's out. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
He's I guess he's trying to. He's probably trying to negotiate his contract deal there.
So here's what he does. When he's finally had enough, he wants to slap me. But he's sweet as can be, though.
Yeah, that looks sweet. That looks real sweet.
That face right there, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Here you go, buddy. Go.
So we had some other news. There was other news. Our old buddy Gary Nolan was on a podcast again recently, and fascinating. By the way, I'll put that also in the links under the description. The whole thing's like over an hour or something, but there were some highlights I wanted to get, and it's definitely worth trying to get some of these highlights up here. Sometimes we don't get too far with some of these because they are not quite permitted to be used. So we're going to try to use these, and we're going to try to do it in a way that it's a commentary, because this is important. So if you're really about data and you're really about getting this stuff out, I would think it would be okay. So I'm going to put it up there for now. You guys are going to get to see it, but it may come down is what I'm trying to tell you. If I get a takedown or, some kind of notice to pull it, I will. I always do. But either way, I think it's important. So we're gonna look at one of these. They were talking about, particularly in this episode, how Gary had his first encounter, and it's just absolutely, it's so cool to hear him tell the story himself of how this happened. And you can tell he's just like, okay, boom, here it is. I'll tell you. He's come to, be that comfortable with it, I guess. And here it is. I'm just going to play it.
You've mentioned something twice that I also was not planning on asking about, but since you mentioned it twice, I do want to give you the opportunity to talk about your childhood and what you have experienced to whatever level that you like to.
Circa 1967 or so, I saw little guys in my bedroom.
What do you mean, Dr. Nolan?
I mean, he literally just goes right into that, They're like, yep, saw little guys. They were there.
Woke up.
You were awake.
I think I was awake.
Okay.
I saw little guys in my bedroom. At first, I thought it was my brother, who was 4 years younger than me. And I remember not being able to move. And so people would call that sleep paralysis. Okay. Mm-hmm. Why I imagined these people or something looking in the window at me, I don't know. But
yeah, that's one of the things they always tell you. You're imagining this. This is imagination. It's amazing that millions of people have the same exact imagination that draws the same image in their mind.
It wasn't until like 20 or so years later, when I was a grad student here at Stanford, I was in a used bookstore that I read science fiction almost exclusively. On the cover of the book was what I had seen in my bedroom, and I just about had a meltdown.
Yeah. And that's that's also a reaction that we heard with a lot of folks who saw, I think it was the Communion cover back in the day, the first time. It's a typical PTSD type reaction. Literal. That's what that is. If you watch the whole thing, you'll hear him talking about he actually had a UFO sighting as well after that. But that's all he's ever had. And it's just amazing to me because he kept it quiet for that long. I can relate, did the same thing. Literally, there are things that I still don't even talk about just because I'm not going to be the person who starts the next cult, so to speak. You know what I mean? People grab onto that stuff and they think that that's it. That's 100%. That's what this is. Follow the data. Don't follow those beliefs. We've kept saying that from day one. Let's see. Everyone's trying to discuss the Mr. Universe, but now everyone's talking cats. Boom. There you go. That's how it works, Joe. That's how it works. There's always some kind of, diversion technique that's run. Always, it's either a weather balloon.
He's back. He's back.
It's just hard to say what it is, but
he has returned.
Yeah, I see that. But yeah, that's some stuff that really is.
Hey, you want to hear? Come on.
But yeah, let's see. I got the other part of that, so we're gonna watch that one too. First encounter number 2. There we go.
So for 20 years, you just you didn't say anything. You didn't tell anyone.
Didn't tell anybody. I remember dropping it, but I didn't immediately turn and start studying it. But it did lead me to read the books by John Mack, and in there were the same pictures.
What's amazing about that, I can totally relate to that because I did the same thing. Literally, I didn't want to go and start reading, these books that were sensationalized and stuff. I wanted the data. And then back in that day, the only people who were actually doing that, John Mack, Bud Hopkins, there's only a few of them that were doing it. And they were pretty good about keeping their beliefs and their data separate. And that's what needs to be done when you're looking at that kind of stuff. You have to really, really look at that stuff. Thank you, Jen. Yes, the show is Maya Bialak's breakdown. And
I never can pronounce her name.
Yeah, no, I can't either. And it is a very, very good interview with him. A really good interview. He also goes into the Atacama being in there a little bit more in depth and talks about that, which is really, really good. And he talks about how, again, he was just given the data, and they kind of attacked him because he said it wasn't an alien. And there are people who are just literally building their houses on these belief systems. And one day when the data comes out, it's not going to be good. And we see that today with a lot of stuff. And I agree, Jen. Everybody probably would like her show. It's good. She actually asks really good questions. And she knows how to lead them into getting an answer. I've seen her actually get surprised on a few of them, which is really good to see.
It's kind of a useless fun fact, but the Big Bang Theory in general, of all, with that being such a show of intelligent people with PhDs, she was the only one on the entire show that actually had the PhD that is literally a doctorate. So.
Yeah.
She's quite an amazing woman, actually. Very, very amazing.
So what else do we have? Oh yeah. This was a good one. This was another one of my favorite clips from him.
It was those kinds of moments that say, what was that? Again, not proof of anything, but enough of a memory that when I listen to other people tell even more detailed stories, I don't immediately think that they're crazy.
See, that's the point right there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's all about.
I just like collecting the stories, because the stories and the anecdotes, when they all start to match up, are like, okay, well, why are they matching? What is this telling us?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of the story, right? And anybody who watched, what we did, you're going to see. I mean, she actually asked the same question that we asked, and I like the way he answers this. I really do like the way he answers this.
Ignore it. We can't necessarily say what it is, but we know what it's not. But there's something here. I mean,
boy, that sounds familiar, right?
People would say that you were seeded with these experiences because they knew that your brain would go on to do incredible things that allowed you to have access to this level of data and analysis. Do you feel you were chosen?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, that just feels so, again, narcissistic. I would rather that it say that if you have a form of intelligence that recognizes data off the curve, and whatever that initiating event is, has the ability to recognize you seeing it.
That also sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now, I like how he says, I would rather it be, but
yeah,
I don't think anyone. Oh, thank you, Dave. Here, Dave Eggleston. Thank you so much. Multiple blessings coming out. You know what? Let's roll that blessing for him, Dave.
And this is for everyone so far. Yeah, for everyone.
Let's give this for everybody. All right. This is the new blessing, the brand new one.
It's pretty.
It's actually, and it has me playing flute in the background. So y'all enjoy this. Yeah, we'll do that.
Ron.
We'll do it again here in a little bit when that plays out. I'm going to leave that up there for everybody.
Well, you've done it, Ron. You just gave away what your ship actually looks like, the one you came from.
No, that's not it. So the part that he got at to right there, that was a really good conclusion. She asked about, and he kind of dove into, but we have seen this. There is a pattern with contact, and it almost always centers around people who are, we said it before, artistic. They're writers. There's someone who can get the story out. There's someone who can record it in some way, shape, or form. It's always been
brains.
It's always been that way. There's something there. And, is it because he's Gary Nolan? No. Is it because someone's this or that? No. And I think it is. It's kind of like what he said. It's like, if you look at what he says at the end, where he says, well, I'd rather it be, maybe something that recognizes you can see it. And then he's like, well, okay, it can see us and, it can see me. But he doesn't finish that. Well, okay, if it can see you and you're one of the ones that can see it, then what? What's it going to do? Why?
What I like about Gary, though, he's impartial, non-judgmental.
Yep.
And very open-minded. That even
Maven 81.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, it's true. And I think that that's part of this phenomena. I don't think it's, there's more to it, obviously, but a huge part that we have to come to terms with is that the story wants to be told. We've said this multiple times. That was the conclusion that we had at the end of Paranormal Horizons, that we saw this stuff because it wanted us to see it. It wasn't that we wanted to see it per se. We didn't go out there thinking we were going to encounter this stuff. We went out there and encountered this stuff, and it was just like, what in the world's happening? And then the next time it was like, I wonder if that'll happen again. Now it can't happen again. There's no way. That's never going to happen again. That was a once in a lifetime thing. Go out there and it happens again. Only this time it's something completely different. It upped the game every single time. I think it did that for a reason, whatever it was. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you've had these experiences, it is not crazy. It is 100% a validated thing amongst experiencers. It almost seems like the message, right? You've got to get the message one way or the other. And once you get the message, you're okay. I think it, and we kind of saw that. We kind of saw it escalate all the way up till this one event that you haven't really, some of you saw it, but we'll broadcast it more on the first, not first. It'll be the second or third episode of the new series where you'll see the culmination of whatever that was. And ever since that, it's been pretty quiet. Now, does that mean mission's accomplished? I don't know.
A lot of this is the same thing too that you get with ghost hunting, which is something we've done quite a bit, and even the Sasquatch, even that phenomenon. It's like it's like one of those things. If you kind of go out looking for it,
thank you,
you're going to have some kind of experience. Usually, the ghost hunting where we were at a location in Beckley, if you recall, where we were specifically asking questions, we're getting responses that almost mimicked ourselves.
Right. And it wasn't that it just mimicked ourselves. It mimicked ourselves, but there was a temporal anomaly kind of thing happening there.
It was weird.
We were actually getting what sounded like us or bits of us talking or something. And it didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense to me what happened in that place. Just because of the choppy nature of the fragments. You could hear it. It was us. We were coming over the radio. We were coming through that what was the RTVP, right? Where the RTVP hooked up to a freaking, what was that thing he had? He had a box set up, big amplifier.
Yeah, I don't recall what it was called exactly.
Yeah, it was a big amplifier, and you could hear it, and we were coming through that. And we shouldn't have been. I don't know. There's a temporal echo, is what I like to call it. But yeah, there's just so much weird stuff with this stuff, man. There's so much, and so many people experience it, and they just don't talk about it. They don't acknowledge it because no one would believe me.
It's I like talking about like I've never had an experience with like the whole Bigfoot phenomenon. I can't say anything.
Wait, no, you can, because you contacted me one time when you were hiking. Remember that?
You didn't see anything,
but you heard something really big.
That was a situation I wasn't looking for it.
That's right.
But I remember I crossed that bridge. I was in Webster County, West Virginia, near the fall. I can't remember what the falls are called, but going across this old National Forest bridge, and I remember getting to the other side, and I was just curious. I walked across this kind of to see where the fire road went. I thought this could be a good mountain biking path.
Yep.
And I remember just standing there, and all of a sudden, I just heard this loud kaboom, and like something like a couple footsteps, but I didn't see anything. There was nothing there, and it's like it was almost right beside me. And I remember I heard that. I was just stunned for a second because it sounded like it was coming toward me, and I immediately Lisa looked at me. She saw me just kind of jump. And I think, okay, maybe there's a black bear. Well, there was no bear. There was no animals that I could see.
Yeah.
And I remember I took off. I hauled butt across that bridge. He's like, I don't want to find out what this is. It was huge, whatever it was.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you described it very well.
And Lisa's like, time to go. So we got in the car and we're like, okay, let's go. We didn't stick around to find out.
Yeah.
But that was, I was gonna say there's a lot of times though you go into the woods, and I've done backpacking for years, and one of the fellows made about like the whippoorwill comment, but you go back in there, and whether you're looking for something or not, all of a sudden everything just goes dead silent. Like all the birds are singing, maybe the whippoorwills, or you just hear all this stuff, and then all of a sudden they're just dead silent. Like you hear a pin drop. Now that could be a predator, like a black bear, or it could be a bobcat, something.
Or it could be the cone of silence effect as well.
Or that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you get back there, and your mind starts playing tricks when you start thinking, well, is there something happening right now? If you're a believer,
Yeah, right. And you can, what? That's the thing, though. And a lot of people who are out there in the field, it doesn't matter if they're believers. Sometimes, even as you're a researcher, man, if you see like something and your mind hits that, and it's like, not always, not every single time are you going to be like rationalizing it at first. There's this split second when you say, oh my God, that's something. And then your brain kicks in. It's like, stop. You have to stop right now. You have to figure out what that is. You cannot do that. That's where you need to be. And that's when you divorce yourself from the whole belief systems. That's when you sit there and you look at the data. What am I seeing? Like the thing that I saw, when we were out there at Joe's that time, the very first, I guess, Bigfoot type thing I saw, right?
Yeah.
It was huge. This thing was massive. And I just saw it for that split second when that light crossed it. And I was like, I did not see that. I grabbed that light out of his hand. I kept trying to recreate it. I was like, that was an optical illusion. That did not happen. There's no way that I saw what I saw. I could not recreate that at all. And then the weird sound, he's dropping to his knees, and it's just like, what's happening? I don't understand this. And way outside my element. I would much rather deal with UFOs any day than whatever that was.
It was like that experience I had. I actually talk about everything going quiet because it was something I hadn't thought about until even when I had talked to you the first time about it. But when we had left and then I talked to you, I recalled, oh yeah, when I was standing there, because there was a few birds singing. It wasn't like it was very quiet. You hear the waterfall going, but it did like. I recall looking back on that, it did get very quiet to a point I didn't hear any animals, birds, it was just, you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet.
Yep.
As I were, until you heard my footsteps go, get out
right. And that's an indicator. That is one of the indicators you look for. Stan Maven said the disappearing whippoorwill and the way the meters responded to y'all's conversation is what brought me here and keeps me coming back. That was beyond odd. Yes, it was beyond odd. No, I still don't have an explanation for it to this day. We've talked to a couple of skeptics, but what's really funny is They don't really entertain it too much when you come back with the actual data, because we actually have the data. Unfortunately, we didn't get the full thing of them, with that bird. And everyone's like, well, why didn't you get that? How did you miss that? Oh, we're supposed to believe you. No, you're not supposed to believe us. I don't really care, because the whippoorwill wasn't a part of the actual investigation.
Yeah.
That was a side quest that Joe accidentally stumbled upon. And that's his, master naturalist side coming out of him. And I'm going to rescue this bird. That's what that was. It became a bird rescue. That wasn't anything to do with Bigfoot or anything paranormal. As far as those guys were concerned, they're turning their gear off and, picking this bird up. I totally get it. Do I wish that they wouldn't have turned it off? Yes, because the data, I just wanted to see it. Thankfully they did get me that little clip where I can see there's an actual thermal signature of that animal. If that wouldn't have been there, I'd have been like, you guys, something messed with your mind. I don't know what happened to y'all. Maybe you want to get regressed. I don't know. I wouldn't do that either, though.
We know the thing that still haunts me to this day. I mean, in a manner of speaking, not really haunt me, but when we had our conference there, when you and I and Hellbent Holler, when we were with Jess and Joe there, we were standing there, and we got on that image with that. We see that heat signature of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Most people don't know this. You were there. Your voice is on that recording in the back. You were standing right there looking at the monitor.
Right over your shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, right over my shoulder, because you're the one who's like, oh, or whatever you said there when it steps. That's you.
Like, oh, crap.
Yeah, that's you. That's you who says that. And we had quite a few witnesses to that. And that was probably one of the more impressive thermal. Yeah. That's the most impressive thermal capture, honestly, that I think we'll ever catch. But there I am setting the goal again, and now something's probably going to be like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, because that's tends to be what happens.
Yeah.
Dave Eggleston, my concern with alien abduction hypnosis investigations is that their data always reflects their theories. For Bud Hopkins, I believe it was a peaceful space brother narrative. With David Jacobs, I already know where you're going. I only have to go read the other part, but I will. It's always the breeding program. Yeah, Jacobs always saw this, still sees this as a. It's a program. It's not. They don't have our best of interest in his way. He was adamant on the Paracast that there was no such thing as a leading question. What? Yeah, I agree. There is. There's 100% leading questions. I have a good friend who can do the whole hypnosis thing, and they agree with me 100%. No, don't do it. They won't do them either. And there's just too easy. It's too easy to mess with someone's head when they're already in a heightened state like that. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. I personally don't. I don't condone it, and I don't want it. And I'm okay remembering what I remember, and that's, if I'm supposed to remember more, I'll remember more. That's the way I see it, right? However, the analogs between alien abduction stories and abductions by the little people is so much more compelling to me than most that's revealed by hypnosis. Yeah, you're right. The stuff that you remember is, I think, more impressive. Like whatever the memory is, whether it be a real memory or not, it's the same memory that a lot of people are repeating, right? So, call it a screen memory, call it whatever you want. But for instance, when the people see the images of, the creatures, the owls, there's your one right there.
Yep.
The owl imagery, the deer imagery, the animal imagery, the camouflage.
Actually, that's interesting you bring up the owl imagery. There was I wish I had it pulled up right now. I didn't plan to bring it up, but you brought it up. There was a discovery made recently. I think it was in Mexico. It was appeared to be a Mayan. They found it buried pretty deep underground of a giant owl.
Huh.
That was just discovered here.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, very recently. I'll see if I can find that. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
This is hilarious. And as I pull up, getting ready to search for this, a news headline comes up. It must be geared towards me to spread the lovely word. NASA alerts Earth to asteroid that could be on collision path.
What? Another one? Are you are kidding me?
I'm not even joking. That literally just came up as a headline.
Send me the link.
Yeah.
Finding said still living with a heart attack, recovered Alzheimer's, suffers, whose house is haunted. Okay. Not sure. Are you talking about David Jacobs? Is that who you're talking about? Not sure.
Let's see here on that. See, Our Discovery, Mexico. Sometimes these things are hard to find.
Yeah. Make sure it's legit.
Here we go. Yeah, it was originally posted on CNN by Jack Guy, a correspondent. Astonishing 1,400-year-old tomb featuring giant owl sculpture discovered in Mexico.
Okay.
And it says it was discovered in southern Mexico, adorned with complex carvings, which has been called the most significant archaeological discovery of the last decade.
Really?
I'll send you the article on it here.
All right. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll get all these up and we'll put them in the description section of this. That way these folks can go and check that out. I'll do that for them tomorrow. After the show goes up. Wow, that's impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Godot. Ghosts are all around, plus many types of beings. Well, you're not wrong there. Considering we don't know what any of those things are. That's the crazy part. That was one of our big issues back during Ghost Watch days. You know, it was we could go out and we could get these interactions, guys. It wasn't hard. We could get the interactions. We could get the EVPs. We could get the communication. But we couldn't get, what we couldn't get was what in the world is that really? Because there was no proof. And I don't think we'll ever really have proof of what that is or could be.
Yeah, interesting enough. Going back to that discovery, I'm not real familiar with this part. Obviously, Mayans and Aztecs, but this is a Zapotec.
Okay.
Zapotec culture, and part of their funeral rituals and belief system. You know.
Yep, Zapotec owl.
Very interesting.
Wow, that is something. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll get that out there for you guys. So for you who don't know, we cover a whole lot more than just UFOs and, you know, strange things where, you know, we go over the news, we go over what's breaking right now. We go over things that interest us mostly. And sometimes it interests you guys too. And if it does, do hit that subscribe. Do make sure that you join us back here, you know, every Thursday. We're here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Also want to join in because, you know, we are getting ready to release the new series. I'm still in post on that, just to let you know. The storm, I wasn't able to work on it. I wasn't about to turn that thing on and take a chance that we're going to lose power. So that's something I'm going to be working on again, getting back into here real soon. So we'll have that done for you. And, you'll get to see some really cool stuff. There's some Bigfoot stuff in there, possibly. There's some weird things happening. There's some Wineberry stuff that, you know, we need to address. Strange lights, you know, it's interesting. Very strange place out there. Let's see. What else do we have? Questions, comments. Rick Skinner sending in some blessings. So you know what I'm going to do today? I think I'm going to send out a blessing. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, we should do that.
I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to grab the old drone flute here.
You have that, and I'll have the cat.
There you go. Well, I can play this one. So let's see. Maybe. Oh, yeah, there it is. There we go. That's for you, Rick. Thank you. And the rest of you, whoever it was that was out there. But yeah, those little donations keep the show going, guys, and keep us rolling out here. We've got quite a bit to do, so every little bit helps. Speaking of which, we've got the art finalized for thanks, Dave. Thank you. We're actually working on some musical pieces that hopefully we can get released this year as well. The art finalized for the psychic test cards, the Zinner card sets that some of you guys have pre-ordered. They look pretty good. I'm happy with them. And I think we're going to try to get those out to print really soon. So be looking forward to that. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do as far as, posing over there. As if we're going to release these beyond, or if it's just you guys who did the pre-order. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see what we can do with that. We've got a few other things that are coming up here planned. We do have our meeting that we need to be hammering out. We're working on that. Yeah. As soon as the weather breaks, we start getting some warmth in here. We're going to have our physical face-to-face, what we were trying to do quarterly meetings, but it's going to be whatever the weather allows us to do meetings. But we are going to have their physical meeting, and you guys are going to have fun there. And try to get everybody together. Good food, good times, sharing data, the whole thing we always do. I don't know what I would do with another Zinner deck. Well, I'll tell you what, this one's not your typical Zinner deck. And I'm actually making it not just a novelty deck. This is a usable deck, and it's multi-usable, which is really cool. And that's why it's taken so long to do, because I wanted it to be not just a Zinner deck, but I want it to be an actual test deck that you can really test with precognition and telekinesis, etc. Multiple things, kind of like a Swiss Army knife, I guess, of psychic test cards. That's what we're going for. So hopefully that's what's going to happen. And
do it live. Yeah,
I'm really happy with the art. The art's really good. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like the art. Speaking of which, we have 10 minutes left. So who's up for it? Anybody?
What we have good. Yeah.
We up for it? I think
we're up for it.
All right. So let's get these things shuffled. And let me find the proper screen, because it's here somewhere. Right here. There we go. The proper screen is up. Boom. Where'd it go? I hit the wrong button again. That's where it went. Proper screen is up. There we go. All right. Here we go. This is the moment that you all wait for some reason. I don't know why this has become a thing, but I'm really happy that it has, and makes me happy that it makes you happy. So everybody, there are your shapes right there on the screen. One of these cards is one of those. Your job is to pick the right one. Don't think about it. Just pick the one that comes to your mind first. That's what you're trying to do. And I'm going to star this back here. I think right here. Yeah, right here. Okay, I'll see where we started. All right. Oh, and Godot wants to do a telekinesis type one. Sure, we can do that. We'll do that. We'll do one like that. We haven't done one of those for a while. All right. Has everybody got theirs in? Everybody. Here we go then, guys. Get ready for it. Okay. Rob, all right, you're in. Oh, nope, we still got more. Terry, didn't see you down there. Welcome. Welcome. Keep them coming. Okay, that looks pretty good.
I'm personally filling that circle. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
It was the first thing that popped in my head, really.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I always do, and that's I'm going to hit the card. This is my technique that I've used for years and years. I hit the card, and when I hit the card, whatever pops in, that's the one I go with. So that's kind of how I do it. You know, everybody's got their own thing. They can snap their fingers, whatever, you know, but that's a little mental cue does help. So try not to think of anything. You clear your mind before you do it. Hit it square. See how I did that? All one motion, just like that. Square. How many of us got it? Let's see. Okay. It looks like, oh, Tony got it. There's one. There's one here. There's one here. Two. There's three right here. Dave got it. Three. Look here. Oz got it. Four. To Lauderdale. Well, welcome. I didn't even know you were here. Thank you for coming and thank you for playing. To Lauderdale got it. Jordan got it. Wow, we have a lot on this one, David. Look at this. Godot got it.
Maybe it's cat luck.
Maybe. That is, wow, that's awesome. Well, you guys did really good. Finding, still waiting on Innervator. We might have to do that for you. We might have to do that for you.
If you remember the movie Constantine, you know, the way that the spirit world was looking through a cat's eyes, standing in water.
Try not to do that, Dave. To Lauderdale. Is the bottom one a star by chance? Nope. It's another square, apparently. I didn't know that either. How about that? The randomness of the universe is amazing. I had a request. I think it was from Godot. Sorry, I don't know how Godot. I don't know how you go. Is it? It's not Godot, is it? It's Goat. Yeah. Anyway, I had a request to look at one, and then you guys figure out which one I'm looking at. Now, sometimes we do these and they work out really good. Other times they fail miserably. So I'm going to try this, and you guys, you figure out what I'm looking at. Okay, that's how we're going to do this one. So I'm going to send it. You guys are going to receive it in the same way. Just do the exact same thing that you did the last time. No difference whatsoever. Make sure that you give yourself a cue, snap your finger, or whatever it takes, you know, and go. This is very good. Very good. Maybe I should play flute while we're doing this. Could do that. I'm going to set it right here. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. This will put us all into transcendental state, and we should be able to do it. So
calm my kitty cat, Ron. Calm my kitty cat.
okay.
My cat needs calmed. He's chilling. He froze again. Ron is summoning the aliens, everyone.
There we go.
See, Ron, I don't know if you realize it, but you froze twice.
Did it really?
Why?
I think it's you that's freezing, Dave. That's weird. Okay. Turnabout's fair play, my friend. The universe froze you. Okay. I am staring at it, and we're ready. You guys ready? I'm ready out here if you're ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's a star.
Ooh.
So who had star? Let us go and see who had a star.
I had star.
There's a lot of people who had star. Wow. How about that? Look at this. Look at that. Well, we had that one. So let's do this one.
You know, the funny thing, I kept wanting to pick the plus, but star was in my head.
David got 2. Jen got it with the graphic. That's bonus. Rob got it with graphic. Also bonus. Teresa got it. Brenda got it. Got it. To Lauderdale, did you get it? You did. You did get it. Who else got it? Wow, look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, you guys did good. Really good. I'm impressed. That's a really good run because there's several of you who got multiples.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. Folks, that was a blast. You never cease to amaze me. I would tell you what we have coming up, but I like to save that for Joe when he's here because I never know what we have coming up. I never know what day it is. So
He kind of does sometimes.
I kind of don't. Anyway, yeah. So I guess what we got bottom of deck. Okay, hang on, I'll check for you. Still square. And I've shuffled them. It's still a square. That's crazy. I shuffled them and they went back to a square. Magic cards too, I guess, right? Anyway, folks, I hear that we have some more weird weather coming in this weekend. So y'all be safe out there.
Yes.
I don't think we're supposed to have too bad up this way, but our friends down in the Carolinas, it's iffy. So let's steer that thing away. Let's group mentality here and try to steer that thing away for them. We'll be back again next Thursday, as always, with some more crazy news. I'm sure, Dave, you said that there's possibly an asteroid we're going to be watching, right? So
yeah.
We're going to have more news on that. And we've got a few other things that we're keeping our eye on at this point. So it could be an interesting week. It could be a very interesting news week as far as it goes. Right?
Very much.
Anita, send it to me. I'll let us know. You can have it all. We'll put it in a box.
Be glad to hand it over.
Free shipping, right?
We even send the ice. They make of course clarify like actual weather.
Yeah, let's not use that terminology around here. Okay?
Unfortunately, that's kind of I have to watch that word. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not do that. Great show tonight. See everyone next week. Absolutely, LR. You absolutely will. Thank you all for showing up and doing what you do every week. It makes it worthwhile. It really does. It's one of the things I look forward to. I know that. I know it's one of the things Joe looks forward to. And Dave, I don't know. You starting to look forward to these things too? You've been on here a few times now. It's about a month or so, right? Something like that.
What? Quite a few times now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
months.
in the chair, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a natural thing for me. I present all the time, so.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Whether it's astronomy or
it's a good
whatever.
thing. It's a good thing. And folks, I don't know if you noticed or not, the folks who are on the group do know this, but it is Wild and Weird Radio's. We're coming up on the 6th anniversary of Wild and Weird Radio. It was announced 6 years ago today for the very first time that there was a new podcast coming, and we're still here. The podcast itself, I can't upload to it constantly anymore because of, Tom. But when there's a really good episode, I will take it over and put it into audio only. So you guys get that. I do have to transfer a couple more of them, though. There's a couple I'd like to put over there for audio only. But we're over 100,000 downloads now. And I couldn't imagine that because I remember when we got our 100th download, it was just like we were ecstatic at that point. And I don't know. I never really imagined getting to that point, and we're well beyond 100,000 now. If we could just get those kind of numbers over here, man, we would be cooking. Let's just put it that way. We would really be cooking if we could get that over here.
In time.
Well, it's just how it is. But we try to keep it relevant. We try to keep it honest, and a lot of content. It's just not that way. It's sensationalism, and we try not to do that. The only sensationalism you see here is when we bring Doomsday Dave on, and he gives us the Doomcast. Yeah. So
I need to have my own Doom calendar or my own Doom clock.
Well, we got one. Well, it's not a Doom clock. We have the disclosure clock, and we have it. It's still setting at 4 minutes to midnight. In case anyone's wondering, our disclosure clock still sets at 4 minutes to midnight. We thought we were going to have to move it up a couple weeks ago, but that didn't pan out. And we're going to watch what's going on with this talk about these names on the lists and all this stuff that's coming out. Like I said, there's more of this coming. So we might move it up here shortly. I don't know, but we're trying to stay on top of it and keep you guys informed. Try not to believe everything you see on the interweb out there. There's a lot of crazy stuff going around. Everything from sea monsters to, lighting snow on fire. Apparently that's a new thing people are doing. Yeah, I can't even talk about it, but it's pretty bad. So you guys try to keep an open mind, but not so open that your brains fall out. You know how that whole thing goes. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we'll have Joe back next week. So till then, I need everybody to stay safe, stay warm, and of course, stay wild and weird, because
have a great weekend.
That's what we do. Yeah, let's have a good weekend. Let's have a good weekend. All right, folks.
Good time.
We are going to end the stream, and we will see you all next time. Like I said, everybody, where's the button at? It's over here. Wrong button. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's a little bit of reverb. So yeah, till then, everyone. Stay wild and weird.
Weird.
What?
Dude. Oh.
No, you don't get to do that, Dave.
Weird.
No, you're not. No, you're not able to do that yet, Dave. You have to have certain. You have to be in the chair longer than that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe soon we'll let you do that. Till now, you just bring the doom. You just bring the doom. That's what you do.